Hey everybody, it's me, Adam Chapnick, coming to you from Blockchain China Connect in Los Angeles. I'm here talking with industry leaders and experts from China and the US, all about blockchain and STOs. Stick with me and let's see what we find out. What's your opinion about the future of, or about the evolution from ICO to STO, let's say, the security token offerings? What do you think about that? Is that a good thing? Is that a necessary thing? Is that...
I've studied the whole ICO and how the regulators are viewing the ICO. I've met with some of the regulators. I had a conference call with a couple of guys from the SEC, and look, they bring very valid points. Who's protecting the investor, right? So I think I mostly agree with the regulation, and I think most tokens they're going to see are actually security tokens. There are very limited utility tokens out there. So when the chairman of the SEC says, I'm yet to see a utility token, I agree with that. I think eventually ICOs are going to all be securities. I think it'll be more regulated. And look, it's to me, it's crowdfunding, right? So like crowdfunding started. So yeah, the SEC has buckets that they need to put you in the right bucket. And today, it's kind of difficult. So I think they're going to create that bucket, and that's where you'll see most of the ICOs go.
We have an evolution from ICO, 2017, the year of the ICO, into now sort of a craze around STOs, security token offerings. What do you think about that? What are you seeing in that, in just big picture? Is that good, bad, natural, unnatural? Is it first step?
It is the first step to a evolution of the economy. And so STO, while it doesn't necessarily have a real quantifiable meaning yet, we don't know what it looks like, we don't know what it sounds like, we kind of know what it acts like, but the SEC hasn't provided a lot of guidance. So for us gatekeepers out there in the securities world as attorneys or CPAs, we're trying to fill around in the dark and trying to make sure that companies are complying with the law while also not necessarily violating the law, which is really tough when you don't know exactly what everything is. And so from the SEC point of view and from this whole dynamic securitization, tokenization world, it's going to get really exciting. And so the STO is that next evolution from the ICO.
What do you think about the whole evolution from ICO to security tokens? What are your thoughts on that?
I'm very excited about this.
Oh, interesting.
For the simple reason, like if you take our venture market, right, for decades, I would say at least 80 or 85% of all of the money in the world in venture business were controlled by less than 1,000 white males living in a small village, right? And then suddenly last year, they realized that there's a whole new world of fundraising, and there's a lot of new investors and new ways to get the money. But that fundraising machine is not yet available to more traditional businesses, right? Because of the regulation, because of uncertainty, specifically on the securities side. Which makes a lot of sense, by the way, but still just making this framework available, making sure that the same fundraising methods used for ICO become available to more traditional business through security token offerings is going to change the whole world, because now a small company in Kazakhstan or Vietnam that now would just wouldn't have any access to the capital markets because it's too expensive. The barrier of entry is very high. Once this barrier of entry becomes lower, even if we're only talking about accredited investors, but still, just reducing this barrier for entry is going to allow money to flow into hundreds of thousands of new companies around the world. So specifically for emerging markets, it's going to be a huge move.
Yeah, we obviously agree. We are the Security Token Academy, and we love following exactly what you're foreseeing. Are you seeing a preference among the funds that they want to fund? Is it just blockchain funds, or is it all tech? Is it other
I
kinds
think
of
it's,
things?
yeah, to our focus, okay? Yeah, our focus will be more looking at the blockchain technology one. That is also strongly supported by the Chinese government as well. So it has the background.
Inside of China, they're doing a lot of blockchain.
Yes.
Interesting. Are you familiar with what they're working on there?
Recently, a lot still focused on the banking and financing sector.
What do you think about the liquidity premium people talk about? That there's all these kind of capital, areas that are locked up, and so they have, without people even knowing, because they've never not been locked up, they're depressed in their value. But once they're made liquid, they'll have a premium on their price. Have you thought about that? Like, if that's going to be here but not there?
Yeah. So I also represent a digital asset exchange called Apollo DAE.
Oh, okay.
And so the liquidity problem is absolutely huge for the exchanges because if the ICOs and STOs have no idea what they're doing, the exchanges are just in complete darkness, right? Because we are highly regulated. We know we're dealing with securities in most instances, except a couple other exchanges. But we're trying to figure out where the demons are and where the rules are because we don't want to get in trouble. But bringing that back is the liquidity aspect of this entire market needs to basically be figured out in order for it to be sustainable.
Okay, so let's looking into the crystal ball at what you're describing. How far out are we from mass adoption of tokenized
we are
assets?
Like little baby running around with a diaper.
Okay.
Yeah, so I think we're probably a solid 5 years out before you get to go into a local family restaurant and say, this place is cool. Let me, figure out if they're doing any type of offering, right? Those kind of things where maybe they want to expand, right? My dad's in the restaurant business, Woody Barbecue in Jacksonville. But, those kind of businesses where they are locally owned, they are kind of, something that in order you go to a bank and you've got to fill out all these applications and you hope that you get approved for this loan. Those kind of things really hinder a business, especially a small business. Yeah. But if you walk in there, you see what they're doing, you like the food, you like the people, you want to look at their financials, you plug in a couple of important key metrics, you use a third service provider like some of the accredited investor kind of things, but they'll be available for everyone else. And you get to see what their financials are doing, see what they're kind of going through the process of, and then you can contribute assets to it. That's unheard of. That's something revolutionary.
For a look at the latest regulations from all around the world, don't forget to check the regulatory calendar on our website. For Security Token Academy, I'm Adam Chapnick.